Hey, what are y'all doing? I'm sitting out here trying to get this video recorded. This is my third try because the garbage truck has gone by twice now. So, I'll try to make this quick. President is still in denial about COVID. He talks about it like the rest of us talk about his presidency. It's going away. It's getting smaller. One day, it's all just going to be gone. It's going to disappear. No one's ever seen numbers like this. Enough. But, my governor and, there's been this, like a pulse has gone out in the Republican hive mind that now they're all mask friendly. Because Oceania has always been at war with East Asia. My governor's gotten on the train and he's going around the state right now promoting mask use because otherwise we won't get to have college football. I gotta tell you, the only thing that racist idiots love more than Donald Trump is some motherfucking college football. It boggles the brain. They're thinking about coming from all over the state to come to Athens, Georgia to watch the football games, and masks are good for limited outings, but what we need is new stay-at-home orders. But that obviously is not going to happen because that would be too smart. It's like, assault rifles. We should ban them, but no, we can't do that. So once again, we're the laughing stock of the world because we will not do the obvious thing. It's embarrassing. I keep thinking about families that have lost a son or daughter in Afghanistan and how that must feel, wondering if the Kremlin paid a Taliban fighter $100,000 to kill your brother or father or sister. And I do believe, the president was probably briefed about this, but I don't think that, I really do think his mind is like somebody fumbling around in a dark room trying to find the socket to plug in the lamp. And the lamp comes on very occasionally and it goes off again. And I do think that he could just carry that around in his mind without ever acting on it or really truly thinking about it. But I also, it might have been at the point when he decided during his PDB that he wanted the Diet Coke and he was just trying to sit there and think, like, how long do I have to wait before I can push the button and have somebody bring me a Diet Coke? What a clown show. The American presidency was never supposed to be like this. It just breaks my heart sometimes. So, he's going down Fox News and saying that the whole Russia bounty program is a hoax, which of course now we know that the definition of hoax, it's a noun, English language. It means a serious or dangerous circumstance that frightens the president. That will soon be biting you on the ass like a large animal with very sharp teeth. Hoax. He said it about COVID. He said it about the Mueller investigation. He said it about his crowd size at his inauguration. I feel like we should just make that like a distant early warning signal. Like the minute the president says that something's a hoax, we need to immediately go on alert about it. But in other news, I don't know if you guys saw, but that lovely husband and wife team of gun-toting lawyers from St. Louis that went out to defend their McMansion from the Black Lives Matter protesters. He was on the news yesterday saying his life has been ruined. Oh, my terrible, unthought out, disgusting racist action has ruined my life. Let me tell you something, Hollis. Your life was ruined, or at least it was on a downward skid the minute your titties got bigger than your wife's, okay? For fuck's sake. But speaking of ruined lives. Okay, so some of you may know about the death of a Daily Caller reporter named Betsy Rothstein, who is being kind of whitewashed and lionized by some people, but others are talking about the fact that she was a racist attack dog for Tucker Carlson, for Jim Van de Heye at Politico. Every reporter of color apparently in DC has a story about getting harassed by Betsy Rothstein. She even challenged, said one reporter was white when they, were biracial. She said they were just saying that to get, I don't know, the extra bonus points that biracial people get. The story that really got me, though, was there's a labor writer named Mike Elk. He's a reporter, and he was at Politico, and he was part of the effort to unionize at Politico. And during the incredibly sensitive and difficult union negotiations, Van de High ordered Betsy Rothstein to leak that Mike Elk, who's a veteran, I think, of Iraq, that he was struggling with PTSD, which would somehow undermine him and discredit him as a spokesman for the unionization. And that, to me, it's just as low as it gets. That's just, but now Elk, who is a pretty decent guy from what I understand. I mean, you Google his name and the first thing that comes up is Betsy Rothstein's hit pieces saying that he's a crazy person who is emotionally unstable. Not any of the work he did, for teachers unions or manufacturing unions. It just, I don't know, there's a plane going overhead, but I got into it with Rothstein, or Rothstein, or however you say it, on Twitter, and she told me I was an ugly nobody, which may be true, but now she's dead. Who's ugly now? But it makes me think about if I were to die today, or any of us were, like, what would our legacy, what would we leave behind? And I'm pretty happy knowing that my Guardian columns and the bulk of the journalistic work I've done has been solid and about connecting people instead of dividing them. And we are all given certain talents and advantages and skills in life, and I like to think that I have used mine for the overall good. But I had a therapist once that told me that she read, there was a Buddhist monk whose mantra was, "I could die today." And that was like a happy thing, because when you're living a spiritually balanced life and you haven't left things undone or unsaid, you haven't loved, when you haven't neglected to love or care, then yeah, you could die today with a happy sense of accomplishment. And I'm not necessarily there. That's pretty enlightened stuff for me, but at least I'm trying to do better on a daily basis and be a good friend and a good husband and a good blogger. I guess that's what I'm doing. But anyway, everybody, I feel like these are incredibly stressful, trying times, and I feel like there's an extra layer of ambient stress right now from the gaslighting that we're getting from the people who are saying that it's time to go back to normal. It's not time to go back to normal. Nothing is normal. And it's even more dangerous now with widespread community spread of COVID than it was when we first went into lockdown in March. I'm lucky that I'm working from home, thanks to you guys. My husband works from home, and we're just gonna continue to do what we've been doing. But it's hard not to worry. So anyway, I'm thinking about you guys. I'm very grateful for you. If you know anybody who you think should subscribe, please tell them to. This is pretty much my only source of income right now. Money's running out, but I'm just like living in the moment and trying to be zen about it. So thank you for your support. I may make this video available to the public. So watch The Guardian. I've got a column coming out in the next few days. I gotta write it still. I'm gonna do that today, and I'm gonna get on the computer and write some more music, but I'm gonna write about being COVID aware and watching and living in a red state and the kind of stress that entails. And Saturday we're going to the studio, and I'm very excited about that because I haven't been in the studio in a couple of years, and it's kind of like the mad scientist lab. It's very exciting. It can be a little stressful, but it's fun. So, that's everything, I think. Thanks for watching. I'm enjoying making these videos. I'm glad you guys are enjoying them. I enjoy your comments a lot. It reminds me of when I first had a blog back in like 2003, 2004, and I would get comments and I'm like, ooh, people are reading my blog. So keep in touch, and I will too. And watch this space.